I said, I know you, don't I? No. So he said, I do, I know you from somewhere. I said, no, you don't. He said, I know where I know you. He said, I was a warder at Pentridge when you were in there, weren't you? This fella out so fast, you've got no idea.
Yeah, yeah, right.
And he was on the run too. Chris Van Janet.
Yeah.
And do you remember those, there was a hotel in Melbourne, the guy walked in and opened up with a shotgun one.
That happens all the time.
Yeah, that's no, late 60s, early 70s.
Fitzroy was in our street, the people started something. I just walked into just walking over.
Well, this puny little thing that was beside us was one of the guys. It was part of the crew that did it, yeah. I've never seen a man when he turned so fast. Oh, he was hitchhiking out to work before he...
They've had a few policemen in Pekoe years of left in Russia.
What school did they get us?
I don't know, really. I heard of this stories with transfer and stuff like that.
I can remember a cleaning lady. This cleaning lady, she is still in town. She's a cleaning lady in Paradiddle. She's a really nice bird. And there was a lot of single guys, and they used to keep pot plants, and she was really pleased with them. She thought they were beautiful young boys. She used to water their plants, darling, till they all got done. They was growing marijuana.
Well, these sort of these cases where they need to get things from.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
I
Or-
fix it on a job.
Oh, yeah. Well, in the Robe River Dispute recently with Robe, we've had a number of members that have been charged with assault in outside of working hours and drinking establishments or around the place.
Right.
And we've supported their case, or the members on the job have assisted with payment of them. We've provided people to assist them. A number have been found not guilty. Some have pleaded guilty and been given a behaviour bond or
That because of
well,
insurance.
well, the company, the company seems to, Robe River seems to be allowing workers or other workers time off from work for attending court hearings, and so so that's all about the case. But in other things, it disputes in the bar, what they need a management assistant.
This guy you talk about, he spoke to and he was when was that? And that we were going to do it.
No, I think that was in Peko-Wallsend about 7 or 8 years ago.
You get a lot of even though it's no longer the cattle club, the cattle club in there's a lot of people coming out there, I suppose they're figuring this is very good one.
I'm sure. And it's a really sad case like that. I didn't know the guy, but I remember the incident about 8 years ago, 8 or 9 years ago. A young bloke in Peko-Wallsend become very distraught with his life, and climbed underneath a Toyota 4-wheel drive. Got a hammer and chisel, and banged it through the bottom of the fuel tank. Let the fuel go all over the top, and then lit a match, and self-immolated himself.
It's easier way to do it.
Yeah, well, I remember at the time our convener of the metalworkers at Peko-Wallsend, Andrew Marr, telling me that he was involved in it because his wife was the nursing sister in charge of the nursing station. There was no doctors at Peko-Wallsend, and she had to be involved. He said it was a gruesome sight. And they then started to, bring their members' attention and the company's attention to living conditions of the single men and so on and so forth. Although Peko-Wallsend is not very far inland, it is actually, because of its location, a bit of a backwater, and people have been bypassed. Now, there's more isolated places such as Newman, but it's got its own direct connection to the domestic airlines and so on and so forth. It's a big place. Peko-Wallsend is a small place, very, very isolated. Would be one of the most isolated mining communities in the Pilbara. There are places like Telfer, gold mining. You can see that they're isolated. They're out there. They're isolated. I don't know. It's a funny way to say it, but isolation is different. you know you're isolated, you're out there. But Peko is so close to the coast, so close to Onslow and things like that, so close to a major highway, and yet it's backwater. It's bypass. You never hear much about it.
Is it a big job?
No, it's only it's Robe River's one and only mine, but it's only a small place. And now since a lot of people have left, well, I suppose there's 500 or 600 people in the whole town. Maximum.
How far is it from here?
It's about 2 hours drive. 2 hours drive.
Yeah, this, I find with, sitting around the table talking, some of the stewards are the best time to get decent colours, but
Yes.
I wouldn't really want this really won't with me, so I won't ever use it. I'll just take it down and put it because I want wider and you get ungaffed staples. I never really want to let you.
Do you remember a guy called Freddie Bonsman? Parabadu? No. I seem to remember years ago that he was originally a worker. Something went wrong with him. He had a car accident and he had a bit of brain damage. So they made him a white hat.
That's right.
Huh?
That's right. Oh,
No, but they had to give him some sort of light duties, and the light duties entailed being a white hat.
That's right.
Sounds awful, but yeah, that's kind of simplifying the way. Well, he was kind of pushed sideways, really. And I can't remember whether it was him that did it or it happened to him. But there was a character around Fred that either Fred hated or hated Fred. And if I tell the story, I'll just say that it was Fred that did it when he was a worker. He hated this particular character, this white hat. And in the mines in Parabadu, white hats around the mine usually get a car to drive. And Fred at the time was before the Terex. What were the first trucks they had there? They were only 80 tonnes or whatever.
Yeah, 80 tonne all that's
Anyway, Fred was driving it, and I'm pretty sure it was empty. And he saw this white hat in his little white Holden car down the bottom of the hill. So he didn't bother to brake. He let his truck take off. And the white hat sat at the wheel and his eyes just opened wider and wider as Fred's truck came down. Fred stayed at the wheel, but the white hat jumped. And his car was a complete and utter total write-off.
Yeah.
He was out to commit murder.
Like you were telling me about half of them who used to pull these switch on the town's electricity supply.
Digger Clavel.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Tell me the story.
Which part of it?
Well, you were telling me about it yesterday. This is on tape. That's something everybody used to do.
No, it was just a very militant FED guy there, that sort of hierarchy, aren't they? Top of the hierarchy. And Digger was the FED, is it convenor?
Convenor,
in
yes.
Parabadu.
Yes.
And he worked in the power station. And whenever he had an argument with the company, or he was after something, or he's pretty crabby about whatever, he'd flick the switches on the town. Yeah.
Was he the one who ended up working for the company? I mean,
Yeah. They gave him a white hat too.
Did they just have too many radicals, militant town?
Well, so-called radicals, that
Mad ones.
well, people say that workers become radicalised here. That's probably true or has been in the past to a certain extent. But I think rather they become polarised because of the way they're treated, and they respond in a fashion that's not normally acceptable, and therefore they're identified as radical. But actually, they're not radical. They're
merely angry.
They're merely angry and upset, and then of course, if they show some potential to be able to organise and present their problems and achieve results, there are many examples of those people being employed on staff by companies.
Well, they're better off
in industrial relations or employment relations or personnel, and quite often it's a sick sort of humour, I suppose, that when you go as a union official to negotiate, that the people that you're negotiating with are these so-called radical workers,
Former
radical workers.
shop stewards.
Yes, and or convenors, and the iron ore industry is littered with those sorts of people.
Yes, I was just saying when I remember I was with Eureka it was to the factories, see? So I went to work for some rotten ratchet factory, and so the two other young blokes that were brothers, very great radicals, and within about 3 months they made leading hands, and they never looked back. I think they ended up being high top management.
Yeah.
That's the standard thing, particularly in the Depression. The unemployed found they had to pay the secretary of the unemployed workers movement or find some way of paying so he wasn't on the dole, because the minute he got to be effective they gave him work.
I think the other part
it wasn't, it wasn't
the other part about it is that unions don't don't have that many openings for officials and organisers, and they don't pay very well. I mean, no one I know of or have ever heard of or read of become a union official because of the money and conditions. And only
in America.
Only in America, yeah. Well, there was a book written about that, wasn't there? Once Upon a Time in America. But I think that's one of the attractions of a lot of people go to employers because the wages and conditions are low, and they aspire to a certain social position of life. Our blokes on the ranking call it the golden. What do they call it? The golden handcuffs.
That's what
yeah, but because they say, they're extremely highly paid workers, really well paid workers, but and they work 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and they have to suffer the conditions of isolation of working on a platform.
Where's this?
On the Rankin platform, 140 k's out in the ocean. And if you look at those wages for the hours that they put in and the confinement and separation and the work that they do, they're not much better paid than workers if they work the same hours onshore. But of course, because they receive such high remuneration, they establish a certain lifestyle. Well, it's like the merry-go-round. Once you get on, it's a bit hard to get off.
What Trish was saying yesterday, you come up here and your life, to save money, and quite often the lifestyle is such stops you saving money. So you end up in another 3 months, another 6 months, rather something.
I remember when the permanent days acting troupe went through here last year.
That's Alice's spot.
Yeah, and they did that Pilbara days.
Pilbara days.
Permanent days. Permanent days.
Yeah.
One of the workers said, and it was incorporated in the play, what really goes on, and everybody calls it socialism because of all the so-called militant activity and the wages and the conditions and all the rest of it. But it's socialism in a sea of 4-wheel drives and 20-foot launches.
Yeah, it's not really radicalism because that's sort of well, radicalism presupposes that you're going to feel leftish about everything. And really it's a union kind of trait where you take little issues and fight them. It's not a feeling you've got the all-round line. There should be a different division of it.
Well, radicalism to me imposes that there's some political thought or there's a political ideology.
Social change.
Yes, and I think that Pilbara has known those sorts of people, and they're exceptional people. That I think it's an exceptional person that can live to any sort of political code, and especially in this sort of environment. But I think those sorts of workers have been very, very few and far between. Very, very few.
Actually, really, they're we're all little aspiring capitalists.
Well, here they come for the day, don't they?
So you really can't call us socialists or anything else. They're capitalists that aren't getting our own way.
I think it's dangerous to try and categorise people, as we all know.
Yeah. Well, Tricia was saying yesterday that sort of people come up here for money.
Yeah.
You don't make it. Well, they make it, but they spend it.
Yeah. I think that's true of a period or phases of the iron ore industry. I don't think it's so now. The people that are here are here to stay because there is nowhere else to go in Australia. The chronic problems of employment and unemployment and where to live are the same here as they are anywhere else. And Robe River is a good example of that, where large numbers of workers have left. But if it was so that there were other places to go, then what you've got to ask yourself the question: well, why haven't the rest of them gone?
Yeah.
Because the reason and my answer to that is that they haven't gone because there isn't anywhere else to go.
It's almost the same.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's all the same. It's no different anywhere else.
Yes, and people who came here get trapped here.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, they actually want to stay too.
yeah.
Some do, yeah.
Yeah. There's a bloke in Port Hedland who was our convener. He was the convener for 19 years, Finnegan Island. He was actually an organiser for the Boilermakers and Blacksmith Society in the 60s, the only organiser in the area. And he finally resigned as the convener last year. And I mean, he just had enough, you know. And he's a safety officer with the company. He was offered all sorts of staff jobs and all the rest of it. He said, no, I won't do that.
Safety officer, a wages job.
No, it's a salaried position, but he doesn't have to involve himself in, you know, personnel and all those sorts of things. And he's still there, and he's a bloke that we should talk to.
Yeah.
We really should.
Yes, well, I was just telling Arthur when you came in that
Yeah, well, you can tell them if you want to. I was thinking about it yesterday and I thought, there's not very many. A lot of them are.
But there's a lot of people that have done that. And the ones that were active in unions and in the forefront of all sorts of issues and disputes that have either have left and gone somewhere else. They've gone a long time ago. They've gone on to staff, or they are no longer active or prominent within unions. They may well be within the wages workforce, but you don't hear or see them. And I think if we fossick around a bit, we'll find someone.
Yes, it's are you going to look?
And oh, by the way, on Monday, and we were talking about Monday, that won't do because Monday is holiday. I mean, we're talking about Monday to work together, so I have to make it Tuesday.
You won't be working on Monday.
No, I'm getting on. Unless we go on Sunday. Yeah. What is it? I'll work on Monday. Righty ho ho. Bye bye, Tricia. Tell Norman thank you for the